Cody Bellinger is going to be a first baseman / center fielder all season long. They're going to push him back and forth all season. Now, there's still a chance they go after Walker. I still think they might actually sign a guy like Christian Walker. But right now, they added Cody Bellinger because they didn't have to give up much. Now, Petit is a good young pitcher. He's a good arm. He looked pretty good when he did come up in the big leagues last year from the bullpen. So, and he could be a future starter for the Cubs. They really liked his arm every time they brought him up this year. But nevertheless, a guy like Bellinger in Yankee Stadium, a left-handed power hitter, this is a guy that can hit more than 18 home runs. This guy can hit 30 home runs next year. And losing a guy like Juan Soto, who gave you about 45 home runs, that was a big loss as far as offense is concerned. Now, where do you move him? Where do you put him in that lineup? Well, there's a lot of places you could put him. You could put him in the cleanup position at 4 and then move Giancarlo Stanton at 5. Do you move him up as the third batter? But if you make a move for, a Christian Walker and maybe you bring in a Bregman, you're not going to do that. So what the Yankees need to do is give themselves depth in that lineup. They haven't had a lot of depth in that back end of their lineup over the last couple of years. That was a big problem against the Dodgers and throughout the playoffs. Now, what I like about Cody is Cody has been an MVP. He has been a superstar. He was 24 years old the last time he won an MVP with the Dodgers, but he did it on a primetime stage with the LA Dodgers. So it's not like he can't play on a primetime team. Now, I do think where the Yankees are and what the Yankees are trying to do, they're trying to fill in the depth, what they didn't have last year. This was really predictably all Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. Well, going into this offseason and striking out on not bringing in Juan Soto, which I didn't believe they were going after a guy like Max Fried and Williams. And now you add a guy like Cody Bellinger. I expect them not to be done. You've heard, and I say this again, Brian Cashman still came out when the reporters asked him. And by the way, Max Fried had his press conference today. It was a great press conference. Max looks confident, a little scared. I mean, obviously standing in front of the press, this guy comes from, he's playing for the Atlanta Braves. Now you're playing in front of the biggest press area of the world in New York. It's a lot of pressure on him. But I think if there's anybody that can handle it, it's Max Fried because of the way he pitches. But I think what the Yankees are trying to do now is distribute the money that they have left into positions they didn't have depth in last season. And now you add a guy like a Bellinger. This is a guy that his father played for the Yankees. So he grew up over here in New York for a little while. He knows a little bit about the limelight. And yes, I know a lot of people are saying that him and Giancarlo Stanton he's married to Giancarlo Stanton's ex-girlfriend. I don't think that matters. I don't think
I was waiting for you to bring that up. I was just waiting.
This is what people are saying. This is not going to work in the lock. I don't think it matters. I don't think Giancarlo gives a crap. He's got like 6 or 7 girls that he's bagging on the side. I don't think it matters, but I think this is great for the Yankees. I think this guy fits the mold of the Yankees, and he's still fairly young. He's 29 years old. I think he has a lot of baseball left in him. His swing fits perfectly in Yankee Stadium. He has the perfect Yankee Stadium swing. I mean, anybody that's watched this guy swing, go watch his highlights on YouTube. This guy is a pure power hitter. And with his Yankee Stadium swing, and I'm telling you, he's a pull ball hitter. When Giancarlo Stanton came to the Yankees, and he's a right-handed hitter, they said his swing fits perfectly in New York. And you've watched him. When he gets a hold of the ball, he clobbers it. This is the way Bellinger plays. He's not an all-in type of player like Giancarlo. This guy can hit for average. Last year, he was a 266 hitter. This guy can hit for 300. When he won he was the MVP of the league for the National League. This guy was a 300 hitter. This guy can absolutely hit for average. And in Yankee Stadium, he can move the ball all over the field.
I said it from the get-go. That was the main guy. Yeah, because I like the versatility too. And then I think also too, it will help with Dominguez and being able to focus on, developing even better. Obviously, we hope, fingers crossed, he can stay healthy. If you don't add somebody, it's still another option that you have, and he's done both. And we've seen that he can do both. And I loved it. I said it was a blessing in disguise, I think, because now we've got Fried, Devin Williams, and Bellinger. and not even close to what we would have paid Soto for 1 year. Granted, I'm not taking anything away from Soto, but when you can add the bits and pieces that they needed to fix, and I don't think they're. I said 4 names, and I said 3 out of 4 is probably going to happen. Devin Williams. I was on Tanner Scott. That's who I was on.
Okay,
but I'll take Devin Williams, and I think he has something to prove too.
and you're not paying anything. You're not paying Devin Williams right now.
Right. You're just paying an ARB deal of not even $4 million.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I love the fact he talked about, I'm going to keep the beard as long as I can. So I love how he did it with the beard. I loved it. Because everybody always shaves it off. He's like, nah, I'm not doing that. It's going to be one of those others. And, you know, I've been going back and forth with, do you take an older guy with, you know, 1 or 2 years, and Santana's came up, was a teammate of his in Cleveland, and, you know, switch hitting, good bat, won his first Gold Glove at 39 or 38, one of the two. So he can pick it over there. Gives you another left-handed swing as a switch hitter. I would love Christian Walker. I mean, in a perfect world, I would love that. That would be the 3 out of 4 that I said. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it happens. So I can act like I know what I'm talking about. But I think what they've done so far is put them in the right spot. I love listening to arguments like, are they better now than they were with Soto? You can't answer that question. Ask me that question at the end of next year, and I'll tell you whether it was or not. So that's just a tough one to do. But I think Christian Walker's swing plays too. Obviously, having another left-handed bat and not be so right-hand heavy would be nice. But what I love about the Bellinger, we didn't have to. We gave up some money and a 30-year-old guy that you don't know where he's going to fit.